Good day, everybody. This is E. Marcel Pertut, and welcome to another edition of the Fighting Peaches. On this edition, we're going to preview Georgia State's football's upcoming road contest against Texas State. Before we get to that, first of all, go to our mothership, the sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also go to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. Just look us up under Sports Inquirer or Etienne Marcel Pertut. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video hosts, which include YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more. On this edition of the show, we're going to hear from Panthers head coach Dell McGee, running back Freddie Brock, and linebacker Josiah Robinson. And we'll start with Coach McGee. Georgia State started off season 2-1, including that big win over Vanderbilt, the SEC foe, but has since been on a 7-game losing streak. And most recently losing at home to Arkansas State. And the team is looking to finish up the regular season strong with these final two contests. They visit Texas State on November 23rd and then host Coastal Carolina on the 30th, November 30th, to wrap up the regular season. So here, Coach Dell McGee previewing the upcoming contest against Texas State. Enjoy.
25 in both passing and rushing offense. Defense, they're top 50 in both categories. Got really good players, are well coached. Just for us, we just got to make sure we go back to the details, make sure we find out what we can and can't do with the players we have available. Very excited to get a chance to go on the road and play another game and see a different facility, see what the brand of football and facilities are like at Texas State. Last time I've been there, I think was in 2014, so it's been a while. And just very encouraged for our team and how they work today. Had a really good practice, really good start to these guys, and it's going to take our best effort from a mental and physical standpoint to get accomplished what we want to get accomplished. With that, I open up for questions.
Do you have an update on Zach?
He didn't practice today, so just wait and see how he responds. Christian and Kylo were the two quarterbacks that took the reps today, so just have to see how he progresses during the week. But right now we got to prepare for Christian and Kyle being the 1 or 2 quarterback going into this game.
And do you anticipate getting back any of the guys on the D-line you've had out?
Another good question. Hard to say. It doesn't look good. So also Monty Green is probably out. CJB is still probably out. So we're still holding steady with the guys we got and just next man up mentality. So we're expecting those guys that are practicing to prepare to win and do all the things that's necessary for us to be successful.
What about defending Texas State? Leads the conference in points per game. It looks like a spread, but they run the ball quite a lot as well. Just from a defensive perspective, how do you approach facing them?
Yeah, they play with tempo, so they are up-paced at times. They slow it down at times as well, but they're very multiple. They line up in 10, 11, 12, 13 personnel. Quarterback makes him go. He's a very good player. He understands where he's going with the ball. They got 2 really good backs, skilled guys, big old line. So they got a really good football team, and what they've gotten accomplished this year, they're to be commended upon. And we're going to make sure we study the game plan, detail the game plan, and put our best foot forward with effort and execution, and just see what happens.
And then offensively, against Arkansas State, looks like you found your passing a game. We've talked so much about the rushing earlier in the season, but you're able to air the ball. Whoever was that quarterback, how encouraging was that for you to at least see your passing attack, execute on last Saturday?
Yeah, we executed at times. We did really hold up against pressure. They really kicked our butts on some third downs and pressuring our quarterback, getting our quarterbacks off the spot. And we did throw the ball for yards, but the team and what we have, that's not going to be the formula to be successful. We got to establish a running game, got to try to control the clock, shorten the game to a certain extent, and limit reps because of our lack of depth on our defensive lines and things of that sort. So we're just trying to play comprehensive football throughout the game, and we just got to do a better job of having first down efficiency when we do run the ball, and we didn't have that on Saturday.
How important will be running back? We're talking to Freddie in a little bit. How important is you passed well against Arkansas State, but how important is that balance and also having the rushing attack to keep possession, control the clock, and execute what you want to?
Yeah, I just mentioned that. So, that's the game plan is try to play comprehensive football. You can never abandon the run game when you're playing against conference teams. Got to be able to do both, and that helps in the passing game, but it also limits the number of snaps that our defense has to play. And all that goes back to converting short yardage plays. We didn't convert 4th and 1. It was basically a bad line spot, let the linebacker run through, and we weren't able to make the guy miss. So just the run game in general has to improve, and we got to move guys, and we got to do a better job of game planning some of the run plays that we are trying to attempt to run.
What did you see from Tyreek? His first action of 2024, moved in there, subbed in middle part of that game.
Yeah, he did a good job coming in. He did better at pass pro than run blocking, so kind of the same thing. You got a next man up mentality. He's practiced and he was prepared, so got to really commend him on what he did and what he showed in the game, and a little bit of his inefficiencies in the run game showed up, but we were limited. The line being wasn't able to go, and he wasn't 100%. So we kind of subbed guys in and just kind of went with the best person that was doing the best job at the time.
And with some of the guys that got hurt earlier in the year, running back especially, didn't play more than 4 games. Do you have the conversation yet about if they're going to use another year, try and use another year? When do you start all those conversations? It's not the off season yet, but it's not that far away.
Yeah, I've talked about red shirts. I mean, the thing about college football, if you're going to be in college, I mean, even if you don't red shirt, the probability of you getting hurt and having to use red shirt later, that's going to come up. I think the NCAA is going to move. I know the NCAA is going to move to it's going to be 5 years to play. No more red shirt. So all those things come down the line. So red shirt, it really doesn't matter to a certain extent. So we're just moving on with the best guys that's going to help us win this game. Not necessarily looking to the future, but we are playing a lot of guys because of the injuries that have occurred on our team.
And just the overall state of the team, you're on a losing streak right now, has some struggles. Just how has the team approached this, and as far as just finishing out this season and looking at the present and possibly to the future?
Yeah, I just challenge the guys, like, everything's about yourself. How do you want to represent yourself these final 2 games? I mean, ultimately, you got to perform and put the best version of yourself on tape, and that's a pride thing. How do you perform is everything, and what our record is right now really does indicate how close we really are in having a different type of season, and let's just make sure that you're putting your best foot forward the rest of the next 2 weeks. Still trying to do things for our older guys that won't get an opportunity to play again possibly after 2 weeks. So a lot of emotional times, but I think our team has really had a good mindset. Really had been a lot of negativity. They're really embracing, the young guys are really embracing their moments and their opportunities as well to kind of show what they can and can't do.
Yeah, and how do you balance that? Obviously, you have some older players who this maybe towards the end of their career, but you have some young guys that, this is the start of their career. How do you approach that balance of avoiding selfishness kind of on both sides of things, both ends?
Yeah, I'm not looking at it where I'm trying to look and see what the future holds. I'm really putting the best guys that can help us win the game. I mean, ultimately, we're still trying to win football games, and we got to make sure we're playing the best guys that's going to help us do that. So it's not a deal where we're saying, all right, we're going to not play older guys and play all the younger guys. That's not the case at all. So we're still going to the game and game planning for success and practicing for that same execution to occur on Saturday.
Okay, and that was Georgia State football head coach Dell McGee previewing the contest against Texas State, the team that leads the conference in points per game and is also ranked in the top 3 or 4 in defense as far as points allowed per game. So a very tough opponent for Georgia State. We'll see who the quarterback is. Christian Veillere finished the contest against Arkansas State. Gibson did suffer an injury to a leg. He wasn't practicing as of this week so far, as when we went to the press conference a few days ago, as you're listening or watching this. So we'll see if he is able to make it on to the field. But a big part of the offensive attack for Georgia State will be the running backs. And that includes Freddie Brock, the team's leading rusher. And here is Freddie discussing the upcoming contest against Texas State.
Physical and get more movement up front for to be able to execute and balance offense, run the ball, pass the ball.
It looks like you were able to move the ball against Arkansas State last week. Just what were you able to execute well, and what are you looking to carry over offensively into Texas State?
We're looking to carry over definitely the more explosive plays. Like the more we make, the easier it is to move the ball down the field. So we want to be more explosive in the run game and in the pass game.
Yeah, and then facing them, just looking at Texas State's defense, what have you seen from them, and what do we have to execute well on Saturday?
We got to get movement up front. The D-line, they got a great D-line, probably the best we're going to face. But defense is pretty great, so got to get some movement up front.
I guess as the season's gone on, when you're going against the ones in practice, how have you seen kind of like Josiah and Demain kind of grow as linebackers playing together? Because now they've had a few weeks where they're getting a lot of the reps together.
Yeah, they definitely growing their eyes and getting better every week, and definitely like them two out there make explosive plays. Joe had a huge sack last game, huge momentum play for us last game, so it's lucky having both of them out there.
I guess on that, whether it's the offense or the defense, do you feel like sometimes you're missing those momentum plays and that's costing you some of these games?
Yeah, we got to have more explosive plays in the run game. We only had one explosive run play last game. Just can't have that. We need to balance it out in the passing game and run game to be able to do both.
Yeah, and then you've been dealing with the different quarterbacks as well through injury or just change in position. How's you guys, the running backs, and just the offense been handling that? Just having just some different guys taking snaps.
Yeah, that's lovely. We can really trust whoever they put out there. Really doesn't matter. We're gonna trust the guy that's next to us out there in the backfield.
Yeah, just the overall state of the team. It has losses and just some struggles over the past few games. Now you have 2 games left in the regular season. Just how's the team handling this and approaching it as you head towards the end of this regular season?
Pretty much just be where your feet at. Nobody clocked out. Everybody ready to go still. Everybody's still ready to play. Still got a season to finish, so we're going to treat these last 2 games like it's a Super Bowl, So we're going to keep going all the way to the end, last game.
And that was Freddie Brock, running back for Georgia State. And just on with the team finding its way, they did have a really strong passing effort against Arkansas State. Running's not so much, but we'll see what happens there with that. Now here's Josiah Robinson, linebacker for Georgia State, previewing the Arkansas State contest.
I think we played a pretty solid game, honestly. I think we just need to. There was like a few like route concepts that caused us some trouble. Left some like little. I say just throughout the week we left some things off the table that we should have probably talked about a little bit more that caused some problems in the game. That's probably about it on the defensive side.
And then what do you see from what Texas State shows as an offense?
Honestly, they're a pretty balanced offense. Pretty good running the ball, pretty good throwing the ball. So it's just, I think when it comes to a defense that's pretty good at both, you got to stop one. You got to focus on one, stopping one. And then it obviously, like, once you stop one, it makes them one-dimensional. So it's like with any offense, you got good players. They're gonna make good plays. But you know, if you can stop what they want to do, it makes it harder on them. So I think that's kind of our plan.
And what about defending tempo? How do you replicate that during a practice week? Because they go pretty fast. I'm sure your scout team goes fast, but how can you replicate and prepare for the type of tempo you're going to face?
So we actually have periods that's really designated for that. So it's called fastball start. So it's like once the ball snapped, the ball's given to the refs, it's right back on the line. So and we probably have like 4 to 5 plays in that rack. So it kind of gets us in that mindset. You know, what calls are we going to call during fastball, or what we going to start the drive out to? You know, so I think it kind of gives us a head start on that, and we do it almost, I want to say, every day. So it'll give us a good head start and a good feeling of fastball and tempo ball.
I guess sacks aren't just one player's job. You know, someone else did their job on those plays. But how did it feel to get a couple of those sacks on a Saturday?
Oh, it felt good. It felt real good. You know, obviously, like you said, it's not just one person. The D-line really set me up for my sacks. You know, the one where I came clean, you know, Kevin came down under the tackle, dragged the tackle down, and I was free off the edge. And then the other sack that was in the first quarter, he was really rushing to me. You know, he came to me from the outside edge from KD. So it was a team effort, and you know, we really wanted to, like, we really wanted, as a defensive line and a defensive back, we really wanted some sacks, and I think that really gave us a good little oomph to us.
How's the overall energy of the team? Obviously, you've had some struggles the past few contests, and only 2 games left in the season. Just how's the overall just state of the team as you progress to this last leg of the season?
It's just obviously the season isn't going how we wanted it to, obviously, but it's just more of what I was telling other people. You know, life doesn't end on this season. You know, even if this is your last season, you know, it's sad to be that, but think of, even if this is your last season, think of what you're gonna leave behind. You know, I think that's just kind of the mentality that we had. Like, what are you gonna leave behind? What are you gonna do with these last few chances that you have to play ball, if it is that, you know? So I just keep telling people that keep grinding, you know, keep grinding. And I think that's what everybody else is saying. Keep grinding, you know, keep loving on your players, loving on the team, you know, because this is gone. Like, once you're done with football, it's gone, it's done. So you don't want to be moping around because of a bad season. So we just tell people, stay positive, stay grinding, you know, do what you need to do, you know. That's really where our mindset is.
And then just last thing for me, it's a final road trip of the year. Just what can you take away from your previous trips on the road and try to carry over into Texas State?
I say just staying focused. You know, this is a new place. This is my first time ever being to Texas State, so I just say staying focused. You know, even with the new elements coming in, I don't even know how the weather's going to be for the game, so I just say staying focused on what really matters. I think that's just really what we need to bring over from our other away games.
What do you see?
All right, we're back. And that was Josiah Robinson, Georgia State linebacker, previewing the contest upcoming against Texas State. The game takes place in a few days. We're not going to Texas State, but we'll be watching and following and having some post-game analysis on the contest. Thank you for watching and listening to this latest edition of Fighting Peaches. And always head to the mothership, the sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also go to our social media platforms at Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to your audio and video host, including YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more. Once again, this is Etienne Marceau, producer of Sports Inquirer. Thank you for listening and watching this latest edition. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.